Hi, it is I, the man formerly known as Cubert. No, this is not the third recording and only the first time that I have my microphone on because I am a professional YouTuber. Anyways, we're going to avoid fragments today, and the first one is echo cessation. We have a bunch to go over, so we're going to make this as fast as possible. Echo cessation has two parts, which is why you see the two videos. The one on the right is the top part of cessation. Finishers apply volatile to enemies within a certain meterage, and the one on the left is killing volatile enemies spawns a void breach. Both are useful, both are good. This is a solid pickup for almost any build, because if you're running void, you're probably going to be trying to get some stuff to be volatile at some point. Echo of dilation. I think it's echo. Anyways, dilation. Cart speed is set to 4 meters per second and grants double radar resolution while crouched. This means that while you are crouched, you will get more slices of pizza at the top left up there. This is a PvP fragment if I've ever seen one. I honestly do not believe there is another fragment that is more PvP than this. If it comes up, I will let you know, but I just doubt it. It's good in PvP, but it's really only good in PvP for the extra stats if you just need another fragment. Yeah. Alright, now we have Domineering. Suppressing the enemy grants 30 mobility and 4 plus movement speed bonus for 10 seconds and refills the readied weapon. So whatever weapon you have out will be automatically reloaded. Killing a suppressed enemy will make a void breach. The best way I think to use this is simply to use a suppressor grenade, because I'm pretty sure the only other ways that you can suppress a target is through a super or through a close range melee ability, which is not the fun times. So suppressor grenade it is. Gonna have to make another video on keywords because I didn't make a complete video where I talked about those keywords and didn't have my mic on. But for reference, suppression does basically overlap with blind, where it blinds the enemy. But if you have a target that will not be blinded by whatever means, the suppression will also completely cut off its abilities, basically making certain targets useless, such as hive wizards, as all of the things that they do require them to use a quote-unquote ability. So yeah, they just kind of stand there and do nothing. If they're a target that cannot be blind, then it will still cut off their ability. Alright, moving on. Echo of Exchange. Melee kills grant grenade energy based off the enemy rank. This is a good way to consistently, if you are consistently meleeing, to give yourself grenade energy without having to put any resources into your grenade. It's not really a top tier trait here, because there's so many different ways to make this just happen for you. But if you're just, for example, if you just don't have any, if you don't have any better armor that has better grenade regeneration, if you don't want to use Devourer on Void, which I think is a mistake, and if you don't have any demolitionist weaponry, then Echo of Exchange makes perfect sense. Otherwise, I'm kind of questioning your thought process here. I'm kind of questioning it if you do it anyway, but whatever. Next up, Echo of Explosion. Void abilities cause enemies to explode. This is any void ability, which I just thought about it probably go really, really good on the void super for Hunter, the tether for Hunter. But that's great. I also really like to use it when I use Child of the Old Gods because it tethering to opponents also counts as an ability kill even if you kill them with your gun, which is really nice. Yeah, it's just a solid pickup. Nothing too crazy, doesn't do a bunch of damage or anything, but it's really nice to have just free explosions. Echo of Harvest. This is one half of the I'm gonna get Devour Fragment combination that they had to nerf. Killing weakened enemies creates orbs of power, and a void breach. Realistically, if you're running void, you are probably going to be using these keywords such as weaken. There is a fragment we'll get to later that makes your grenades weaken targets, which means that any grenade kill will have the chance to make a orb of power if you're not on cooldown on Echo of Harvest. And then you can also have other ways to make orbs of power doing the exact same thing. So you can make a bunch of orbs of power by just throwing one grenade. Really good, especially since this class is kind of built around using grenades in your class ability. So yeah, moving on. Echo of Instability. I still think it's Echo. Okay, so if it's not Echo, don't kill me. All right, try. This is the Essus of S tier for this. Jesus, I can't speak today. This is one of, if not the best, fragment in the game, and has been since inception. It has not been close. That is my wife. Yeah, it's my wife talking to her friend, sorry. Echo of Instability. If you get a grenade kill, then you will grant yourself volatile rounds for 11 seconds. Volatile rounds makes any hit done by any void weapon makes the target volatile. This is really useful for ad clear. Used to be more useful for single target damage, but they had to nerf the way that it interacted with that sort of thing because it was making stuff like rapid fire machine guns into boss damage weapons, which, you know, apparently we can't have that. Thanks, Bungie. Thanks. Moving on. Echo of Leeching. Melee kills begin health regeneration for the user and allies within a certain meterage. You remember earlier where I said that the melee thing I was talking about before doesn't really make sense? Yeah, this one makes much more sense. If you're in melee range, you probably want your health to start coming back up anyway. Now, is it great? No, because it's just health regeneration. It's not a chunk of health. But, Devour? Forehead? I don't know, man. Look, this is useful. I think it's better in PvP because typically you're going to have a 1v1 shotgun melee. You win that fight and bam, you know, health regeneration. But even in PvP, if you're running Devour, then, you know, I don't think you really have this problem. Or if you're just running recuperation. So this is a mid-tier perk. It is nice if, again, just like the previous one that I was down on about meleeing, if you're not using other options, this is a solid way to accomplish the goal of giving yourself more health regeneration, but it's not a necessary evil whatsoever. Obscurity. Finishers grant invisibility for 5 seconds. This is the only way for somebody that is not a hunter to go invisible, which I think is a bit of a drop of the ball. I think they probably should have another way to grant invisibility to themselves outside of like an exotic or something, but yeah, whatever, it's not terrible. You know, don't really like doing finishers, but at least it makes you safe afterward. So yeah. Next up, we have Echoes of Provision. This is an underrated trait that I have not been using for a while now. I think last time I was using this was when Void Titan was PvE meta with their ability spam build with Heart of Inmost Light. But grenade ability damage grants melee energy. You get a certain amount per type of grenade you are using, and yeah, like if you get a grenade that hits a bunch of times, you can really bring your melee back up really fast. Um, yeah, I actually really like this one. It does drop down your strength, but to be honest, I don't even think it matters. I wouldn't care about that. Yeah, really good. Echo of Reprisal. This one's interesting. It was kind of hard to gather footage for, but basically, if you're surrounded by 3+ enemies within 8 meters of you, then all your kills give you a increased super energy regen. This basically just means it's good for Titans because they're the only one that's going to be able to get this close to anything and not immediately die, typically. But it is useful. It, again, maybe niche, but it is useful. You should be able to use this with swords or glaives, as I have here with my warlock, and so on and so forth. So usable. Now, Echo of Starvation. If you pick up an Orb of Power or a Void Breach, you will grant yourself Devour. This is the other half, along with not Starvation, along with what is it? Dilation, Legion, Stability. I don't remember which one it is. Harvest. Starvation and Harvest is the 1-2 punch of I grant myself Devour. In the form of fragments. It does drop down multiple stats, but when you can get a kill and give yourself grenade energy and give yourself, at the time it was full health, now it's half of your health, yeah, you don't really care about that crap. So, yeah, this is really good. Yeah, can't be mad at this. Echo of Undermining. This one's really good. Really, really good, actually. If you touch anything with your Void Grenade, it will become weakened. Weakened is a keyword that basically means that the target will take 15% more damage from any source. I don't feel like I have to explain why this is really good. I will attempt to, but I don't think I should have to. It makes all of your grenades stronger immediately upon touching the opponent. 1 tick of trash damage and the rest of it's good. It allows you to use this as a debuff extender versus bosses if you're running a void subclass at all. It helps you deal with chunkier targets while using less ammo, because the grenades themselves will deal a bunch more damage, and then you don't have to use as much ammo. This is just really good everywhere. Okay, this is great. Even in PvP, this is good. You don't get the full 15% in PvP. I want to say it's like 7 or something, but yeah, in PvE, this is, if you have any desire to weaken, then you run this. And screw the -20 discipline because you have Devour anyway, so just proc this and then throw Devour on there as well and go on about your day. And last of all, one of the better ones actually, for what it does for you. Echo of Vigilance. Upon killing an opponent while at critical health, you grant Void Overshield for 5 seconds. There's a cooldown apparently after you activate it, which is like, okay, you gotta not die for 8 seconds. But I mean, that is like basically 90 free health. You pair that with Devour, and even if you get close to dying, the moment you get a kill, you should not be dying anytime soon unless you're just in a terrible spot in the first place. So, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. One of the better fragments here. So yeah, that took a little bit longer than I would have liked, but we got through it. Those are all of the fragments for Void. I'm considering doing a fragment tier list of sorts. But I don't know, put my own little spin on it. We'll see. Don't want to make this video too much longer, so yeah. Later.